Hello dear students, welcome back to the online class of Noakhali Government College. I hope you are keeping safe and sound at your home. Dear students, as you see on the screen, today our topic of discussion is appreciating poems, and in my today's lecture we will have a discussion on what is theme, on what is summary. Then we will also know the difference between theme and summary. I will also instruct you how to write a theme perfectly. Then we will read out a poem and write down the theme and summary of the poem. Dear students, try to listen to this lecture very attentively. I hope you will be able to learn so many things about theme or summary and also about poem. So dear students, let's move to the next slide. Dear students, in your examinations, you are generally asked to write a theme of a poem or a story. But I have experienced that most of the time you end up writing a summary while you are actually asked to write a theme. This happens because you don't have a very clear idea on theme or summary, and you don't know the difference between these two things. That's why in my today's lecture, I will show you what is the difference between these two things. So first of all, let's know what is a theme. Theme. The theme in a poem or a story or any kind of literary work is the deep underlying or hidden message that the poet or author wants to convey to the readers. So you see, I have written it clearly here that a theme is basically a hidden or underlying message that the poet or the author wants to convey to the readers. The theme is actually is hidden inside the literary work. Alright, so see, in other words, we can say the theme is the main idea of any poem or literary piece. So a theme is actually a main idea or the central idea of a poem or a story or any kind of literary work. Then a single piece of writing may sometimes have more than one theme. So this is a very important point to be noted, that a single piece of literary work may have more than one theme. Why? Let's see. That means a poem or a story may have different themes according to the different perspectives of the reader. Look at the phrase, different perspectives of the readers. The readers have their own mind, they have their own faculty of thinking. That's why they actually develop their own theme of a poem or a story. That's why I say that a single piece of writing may sometimes have more than one theme. So dear students, I hope you got the definition of theme very well. So let's know what is a summary. Summary. A summary is a short or abridged version of a literary work. It simply retells the main plot of a poem or a story or any literary piece without going into the depth of it. A summary contains the main points of the text without any personal opinion of the reader. So you see, the definition of summary is very clear, that a summary is basically a compressed or short version of any long literary work. You no need to go into the depth of that poem or story. You simply have to rewrite the main points of the story or the poem in your own words. And here in summary, you don't have the right to put your own opinion. So here is the basic difference between a theme and a summary. In a theme, you can put your own opinion, you can express your own opinion, but in case of summary, you don't have that right. So I hope you got the difference between two things, and from today on you will not mix up these two things. Dear students, I have already told you that in your examinations you are generally asked to write a theme of a poem. So that's why in my today's lecture I have focused much on writing a theme. And to write a theme, you need to know certain basic things. What are the things? I have pointed out those important things on my lecture. You see on the screen how to write a theme. Read the given poem or story very carefully again and again. So this is the first important thing you have to keep in your mind, that you have to read the poem or the given story very carefully again and again. This is the first important point. Then see, try to understand the meaning and subject matter of the poem. So the second important point is you have to try to understand the meaning and the subject matter of the given poem or the story. Then try to get the message of the poem that the poet wants to deliver. So dear students, I have already told you that the theme is basically the hidden or underlying message that the poet or the author wants to deliver to the readers. So you have to try to get or understand that hidden message. Then make your writing short and meaningful. You should limit your write-up within 50 words. So this is a very important point, that you have to make your writing short. Definitely you have to make your writing short, and you have to try to make it meaningful. And in your in the question paper, you will be given instructions to limit your writing within 50 words. So you have to keep this very important thing in your mind. Then avoid unnecessary words and phrases. So this is also important, that while writing a theme, you no need to write unnecessary words or unnecessary phrases. So dear students, these are the important points that you have to keep in your mind while writing a theme. And if you follow these instructions in the examination, I hope you will be able to write a very perfect theme. So dear students, let's move to the next slide. So dear students, at the beginning of this class, I have told you that I will be discussing a poem in my today's lecture. So this is the poem as you see on the screen. But before going through the poem, let me tell you something about this poem. This is a non-textual poem. That means this poem is not taken from your textbook. And this beautiful poem is composed by a famous Victorian poet called Alfred Lord Tennyson. Dear students, in this poem, you will see that the story of a woman is told whose husband has died in a war recently, and the dead body has just been brought home. The lady is very much shocked, and because of the shock, intensity of the shock, she cannot react. That means she cannot cry. Her maidens gather around her, try to make her cry, adopting this and that means, but fail. At the end, you will see that an old experienced nurse takes the child of the lady and puts the child on her lap. At this point, the lady starts crying. So this is the synopsis of this poem. So dear students, let's read the poem in details. So write down the theme of the following poem, not more than 50 words. Dear students, in the examinations, your questions are generally set like this, and you will be given instruction not to exceed your writing more than 50 words. And in the question paper, the name of the poem and the name of the composer of the poem are not generally given. Dear students, let's read the poem. Home they brought her warrior dead. She nor soon nor uttered cry. All her maidens watching said, she must weep or she will die. Dear students, just try to feel the tune or realize the tune of the poem. The tune is so sad, so grave and so intense. And look at the use of the possessive her warrior. Whose warrior? The warrior of the lady, the husband of the lady, the pillar of the lady. And until today, her husband was actually the only means of her living on earth. And just think, this only means of her life is no more. The only means of her life has died. Just think what will be the condition, mental condition of the woman, and what will be her reaction. See, she nor soon, the lady, because of the extreme grief and because of the intensity of melancholy, the lady has actually turned into a stone. She has turned into an immovable object. That's why she nor soon. She is not fainted away, or she is not crying at all, and nor uttered cry. All her maidens watching sad. All her maidens means her attendants. Her attendants gather around her, saying that she must weep. This lady must weep. She must cry, or she will die. Or we know that in such a situation, we should express our emotion. Otherwise, we will not be able to reduce our grief. So her maidens in next few stanza you will see that will place up some pricks on her to make her cry. See. Then they praised him soft and low, called him worthy to be loved, truest friend and noblest foe, yet she neither spoke nor moved. So the first trick her maidens play on her is praising the dead soldier. They praised him saying that they praised the dead soldier saying that he was actually a worthy man, a very good man to be loved. He was a true friend of people, and as an enemy also he was very noble one. Actually, the maidens do all these things just to evoke some emotion on the lady, so that the lady can show or express her emotion, or the lady can cry. But see the reaction of the lady. She neither spoke nor moved. The lady is as usual. She is not expressing any emotion. She simply sat like an immovable object. Let's see what happens next. Stole a maiden from her place, lightly to the warrior stepped, took the face cloth from the face, yet she neither moved nor wept. See, at this point, one of the maidens slowly moves to the dead soldier, takes off cloth from face to show the face to the lady, so that the lady can feel some emotion for the dead soldier and cry. But in this case also, see the reaction of the lady. She neither moved nor wept. Even after seeing the face of her dead husband, she is not showing any reaction. She is not crying, or she is not expressing any kind of emotion. Alright, so dear student, let's see what happens next. Rose a nurse of 90 years, set his child upon her knee. Like summer tempest came her tears. Sweet my child, I live for thee. So at the very end you see an old and experienced nurse who have so much experience about life rises up, takes the child of the dead soldier and puts the child on the lap of the lady. And at this point the lady cries. She cries like summer tempest, like heavy summer rain. She cries and says, sweet my child, my sweet lovely child, I live for thee. I live. I will not die. I have to live to take care of you. So dear students, I hope you got this poem very well, and I hope you will be able to write your theme perfectly of this poem. And in the next slide I show you how to write the theme of this poem, and I also show you how to write the summary of this poem also. So dear students, let's move to the next slides. So theme: sometimes excessive grief turns us into stone. In such situation, we need a reason to live. So these two sentences actually tells the main idea or central idea of the poem, that sometimes we, because of the excessive grief, we turn into stone, and to come out of such situation, we need to find a reason for which we will hope to live. So this is the central or main idea, or you can say the theme of the poem, and I have written two more lines to support or to make my theme compact. You see, the poem narrates the story of a woman who is too shocked to cry at the death of her husband. Finally, she starts crying as she cradles her child, who turns to be her only reason to live. So, dear students, this is how you have to write the theme of a poem. Let's see how we should write the summary of the same poem. Here in this slide, I show you how to write the summary of the same poem. See, the poem narrates the story of a woman whose husband has died in a war recently, and the dead body has just been brought home. The lady becomes intensely shocked, and because of the intensity of grief, she cannot express her emotion at all. The maidens around her try to make her weep but fail. Finally, tears downpour from her eyes when her child is put on her lap. You see the summary. I have not actually gone into the depth of the poem. I simply compressed the whole poem, focusing on the main points of the poem. So this is how you have to write the summary. I hope from this summary and the theme I have already discussed in the previous slide, you will be able to understand the difference between a theme and a summary. In a theme, you have to go into the depth of the literary piece of a poem or a story, and you can express your own opinion. But in case of summary, you no need to go into the depth of it. You simply have to focus on the main points and rewrite the long literary piece into a smaller one in your own words. So I think you got to this lecture very well, and that's all for today. I will discuss a few more poems in my next video classes, and up to this, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Try to stay safe at your home, and definitely try to stay connected with our Facebook and YouTube channel. So thank you so much.